Chapter 3688. Annihilating a mad demon with a flip of his hand? When everyone saw this scene, their faces were filled with shock. What kind of strength was this? Is this the strength of the Dragon King? How could this be possible? Fire Eagle is in existence at the level of Mad Demon. Such a powerful existence couldn't even put up any resistance in front of Wang Xian. Huominqian's face was filled with terror as he growled in a low voice. Such an expert was easily suppressed by the Dragon King. What about them? Hiss, is this the true strength of the Dragon King? With this kind of power, how can the experts of the invincible domain resist? That Fire Phoenix is in existence at the level of a crazy demon. She was easily killed by the Dragon King like a toy. The strength is despairing. The Dragon King is so powerful. He could easily suppress a mad demon. No wonder the old witch and the others would submit to the Dragon King. No wonder. With such terrifying strength, even if the old witch, water demon, and the other experts don't come, and even if the Dragon King faces the experts of the angel race and the phoenix race alone, he wouldn't be afraid at all, right? The strength is too strong. All the old monsters in the surroundings were so shocked that they couldn't control themselves. Succumb with such terrifying strength, they felt that the Dragon King alone could fight against the experts of the Angel clan and the Phoenix clan. Damn it, is he the true ruler? Angel Gardecker stared at Wang Xian with cold sweat on his forehead. The angels around him also had horrified expressions on their faces. Breakthrough. Run. Huominqian let out a low roar, and his face was filled with madness as he let out a wild roar. Run. The mad demon experts on their side were easily suppressed. The strength displayed by the Dragon King filled them with despair. At this time he could only escape. He ran for his life. Otherwise they would be completely finished. Run, run. The dozen angels from the Angel clan also growled. With a wave of their arms, the powerful Angel Legion surrounded them and immediately broke through the invincible domain's periphery. Don't get entangled by these maniacs. Angel Gardeck looked at the lightning demon wings blocking their path and roared in a frenzy. At this moment they began to fight with all their might. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The 40 to 50 water phoenixes exchanged fearful glances, then immediately controlled the phoenix totems behind them to fly forward. That incomparably huge water phoenix totem flapped its wings and water energy circulated, making it look abnormally beautiful. Wisps of mist dispersed into the surroundings. They wanted to escape immediately. Buzz. Wang Xian stood in the void and looked at the experts from the Angel and Phoenix clan who were desperately trying to escape. Wang Xian smirked. He waved his arm. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The 5 elements grindstone and the Tai Chi dragon board on the old witch's body immediately flew towards him. The Tai Chi dragon plate revolved around him while the 5 elements grindstone floated above his head. Wang Xian raised his arm and a vast force of the 5 elements surged into the 5 elements grindstone. He waved his arm and aimed at the water phoenix totem. Boom. In the next moment, the 5 elements grindstone carried a terrifying force and directly attacked the water phoenix totem. Enhanced by Wang Xian, the Tai Chi dragon plate exploded with destructive power comparable to a second-order universe sovereign. Not good. Oh no, the dragon palace has locked onto us. Save us. When the 40 to 50 water phoenixes saw the terrifying Tai Chi dragon plate attacking them, they were horrified. They quickly turned around and controlled the huge phoenix totem. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The water phoenix totem let out a cry. It opened its mouth and waves of fire-like water energy attacked the Tai Chi dragon plate. Rumble, rumble, rumble. In the next moment, violent collision sounds were heard. Waves of water attribute flames landed in front of the 5 elements grindstone and were quickly extinguished by the energy. The 5 elements grindstone carried a powerful aura and continued to attack the water phoenix totem. We can't stop it. The strength of the Dragon King isn't something we can handle. We can't stop such a terrifying treasure. One of the water phoenixes shouted in horror. There are no experts who can support us. Continue to attack, Phoenix Water Bloom. They roared with reddened eyes. The water phoenix totem emitted blue light and an ice phoenix seemed to be formed. It attacked the 5 elements grindstone again. Ka. However, it collapsed immediately after the collision. Boom. The 5 elements grindstone carried an invincible aura as it arrived in front of the water phoenix totem. A terrifying destructive force swept towards the phoenix totem. 111. Under the attack of the 5 elements grindstone, the water phoenix totem collapsed rapidly. In the end, only a scroll was left in the sky. A scroll of water phoenix. Below, the water phoenixes who suffered from the backlash of the energy spat out a mouthful of blood. They were severely injured. One strike, and it was an easy strike to destroy the water phoenix totem that was comparable to a crazy devil. Wang Xian revealed a faint smile when he saw this. He controlled the attack of the 5 elements grindstone, which was stronger than an ordinary second-order sovereign realm expert's all-out attack. It was a piece of cake to destroy the water phoenix totem. Aha, the Dragon King is mighty. All of you shall die obediently. Trying to kill our Dragon King is the stupidest decision you have ever made. Lei Shan roared. His figure moved and he directly attacked the angel core in front of him. So what if you are from the angel race? So what if you are from the phoenix race? Death Lotus. The old witch held the magic staff in her hand, and a huge Death Lotus array was formed, blasting towards the group of experts from the phoenix race. Ming Sha Sheng Shirsen Yao Yu Yi Water Demon, and the rest rushed towards them at the same time. Starting lineup, www.m/x81zw/com/ the murderous aura and terrifying aura exuded from them caused the experts from the angel race and phoenix race to tremble violently. The water phoenix totem was easily destroyed by the Dragon King. The Dragon King is too strong. We can't stop him at all. We're doomed. If the Dragon King continues to attack, none of us will be able to escape. The Dragon King had easily suppressed the Fire Eagle Phoenix and destroyed the Water Phoenix totem on the first strike. 2 strikes from the Dragon King had easily suppressed the Fire Eagle Phoenix and destroyed the Water Phoenix totem on the second strike. 2 strikes from the Dragon King had caused them to lose 2 powerful combat forces. The Dragon King's strength was so strong that it made their hair stand on end. If he continued to strike, how could they win? In fact, they knew that the Dragon King wouldn't let them leave. He wouldn't let them off. At the thought of this, they almost lost their fighting spirit. You're next. Wang Xian stood in the void and shifted his gaze to Angel Gardecker. This was the leader of the angel race and also the guy who arrogantly declared that he would annihilate him. Chapter 3689, Kill, Run. The trading area had turned into a battlefield. The experts from the Angel Clan and Phoenix Clan were roaring crazily. They were desperately flying towards the outer perimeter of the invincible domain. Wang Xian's 2 attacks had caused them to collapse. Now they had to either die in silence or explode in silence. There was no time to hesitate. Run. Run now. Run with all their might. The dozen angels from the Angel Clan were using the battle angel as a sharp blade, trying to carve out a path of survival. At this moment they could no longer care about the loss of the battle angel. As long as they could make it out alive, it would be a blessing. Wang Xian locked his gaze on Angel Gardecker. He revealed a smile, flapped his unbeginning saint wings and flew towards him. Angel Gardecker, right? I heard you saying to annihilate him just now. Wang Xian's flying speed was very slow. In fact, he was about the same as an ordinary third-order universe sovereign. He looked very relaxed, as though he was taking a stroll in his own garden instead of a battlefield. As he spoke leisurely, his voice reached Angel Gardecker's ears. His tone was as though he was talking to an old friend. However, Angel Gardecker's body trembled violently when he heard Wang Xian's words. He turned his head and saw Wang Xian flying towards him. His eyes were filled with despair. Dragon King, if you dare to kill us, the Angel Clan will not let you off. Our third prince will not let you off. Angel Gardecker bellowed fiercely. Won't let me off? Third prince? Wang Xian's eyes flickered and were filled with coldness. The Angel Clan has been trying to kill me and annihilate my dragon palace. Aren't all your lackeys dead now? You think I won't dare to kill you just because you used the name of the Angel Clan and the third prince? As Wang Xian spoke, he flew over. Kill. Seeing Wang Xian approaching, Angel Gardecker's expression changed drastically as he ordered the surrounding angel army. Over 100 battle angels with third-order universe sovereign combat strength charged towards Wang Xian. Wang Xian looked over and revealed a mocking expression. Waves of annihilation energy revolved around his body. Once the battle angel got close to him, her body stiffened and her life force rapidly disappeared. He couldn't get close to Wang Xian at all. Now, the battle between ordinary third-order universe sovereigns and Wang Xian was too huge. This was like the difference between an ordinary peak venerable and a second-order sovereign. How could an ordinary peak venerable fight against a second-order sovereign? Even if they outnumbered Wang Xian, it would still be difficult for them to break through his defense. As for Wang Xian, all he had to do was release waves of destructive energy. As soon as they got close, he could kill them instantly. Wang Xian flew towards the Gardek angel without any hindrance. No, no, no. Seeing Wang Xian approaching, Gardecker's body trembled violently. As he retreated, despair filled his heart. Do you think you can escape today? Wang Xian stared at him and spoke with disdain. No, don't kill me. Angel Gardecker was on the verge of breaking down. Seeing that Wang Xian had flown to their side, he raised the huge sword in his hand and slashed at Wang Xian. Wang Xian lifted his palm and caught the huge sword easily. He stared at him emotionlessly. He exerted force in his palm and directly snatched the huge sword, staring at him calmly. His arm turned into a dragon claw and grabbed Gardecker in his hand. Facing Wang Xian's irresistible force, Gardecker's body couldn't stop trembling. Soul capture. Wang Xian stared at him with a thought. The pupils of Gardecker, who had completely broken down, started to slacken and his expression turned dull. Gardecker, send a message to your third prince immediately. Tell him that one day I'll kill you and pluck your bird wings. Wang Xian said emotionlessly to Gardecker. Gardecker, whose soul was captured, mechanically took out his universe AI and sent a message to the third prince. Seeing him sending the message, Wang Xian revealed a smile. With a wave of his arm, Gardecker's body was thrown to the side of the Fire Falcon Phoenix. After doing all this, he scanned the entire battlefield again and fixed his gaze on the Fire Sky Phoenix. That Fire Phoenix, do you want me to go over and kill you or do you want to come over obediently? Wang Xian's voice sounded and entered Huo Minqian's ears. At the same time, it was also transmitted to the entire battlefield. When Huo Minqian heard this, he looked over and swallowed a mouthful of saliva. At this moment, the entire battlefield quietened down. In fact, many experts stopped fleeing and looked over to Wang Xian. Many experts could feel that Gardecker had been suppressed by Wang Xian. This could no longer be considered as suppression. It should be considered as crushing him to death. As for the words of the Dragon King, it was also a form of judgment for Huo Minqian. A judgment that would be enforced with his words. Judging the Dragon King from the angel race? This must be the Dragon King judging the angel race and the Phoenix race. Cough, 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 cough. Seeing Wang Xian staring at him, Huo Minqian let out a creepy sound. His eyes were filled with fear as he looked at Wang Xian. Wang Xian was also looking at him with the same calmness. This isn't a battle of the same level. Just the Dragon King alone can easily suppress all the experts. Invincible stance. Invincible stance. The Dragon King doesn't seem to be standing on the battlefield. Instead, he's standing high and mighty in his own holy kingdom, judging those reckless fellows. The Dragon King is simply invincible. Even when the battle broke out, the Dragon King didn't take them seriously. He struck casually and crushed the experts to death easily. The difference is too huge. Around the trading area, the old monsters from the invincible domain were shocked to see this scene. Chinese M. X/8/1/Z/O/M/ At this moment, the battlefield was like a chessboard, and the Dragon King was the chess player. Whoever he wanted dead, that person would die. He stood there, invincible, as though he wasn't affected by the battle. At this moment, the experts from the angel race and the phoenix race were like ants. Dragon King, can you spare my life? Huo Minqian looked at Wang Xian in despair as he suddenly begged. What do you think? Wang Xian let out a sarcastic laugh and flew towards him slowly. As calm as before, as though he was taking a stroll, he came before Huo Minqian. At this moment, Huo Minqian didn't even have the courage to resist. He closed his eyes slowly, awaiting Wang Xian's judgment. Wang Xian extended his dragon claws and grabbed him. At the same time, he cast the soul manipulation art. Waves of information entered Wang Xian's mind. Xinjiang Aqua Phoenix. After a few seconds, Wang Xian uttered these words softly. Chapter 3690. The Phoenix race was indeed involved. The Pinnacle races wouldn't be so bored as to join in the fight against the Dragon King just because of the third prince's invitation. There was no need for the Pinnacle races to offend the current Divine Dragon bloodline. Even though the Divine Dragon bloodline had declined, it was still an extremely powerful Pinnacle race in the past. At present, it was still highly possible for the Dragon Palace to become a Pinnacle race. Therefore, there must be a special reason for the Phoenix race to join in. Wang Xian checked the information in his mind with his eyes shining. Kill them as soon as possible. Huo Minqian was suppressed by him. After getting some information, his eyes shone brightly as he looked at the old witch and the rest around him and ordered. Yes, Dragon King. The old witch and the rest of the 7 crazy demons immediately responded and unleashed all their strength. After dealing with the problem of losing their minds, they were even stronger in battle. Especially after Wang Xian suppressed Firehawk Maniac, Water Phoenix Totem, and Gardek Angel Huamintian. Their strength had already been greatly weakened. Under such circumstances, Wuxia and the rest had the upper hand. Wang Xian stood there. The experts from the Phoenix race and Angel race didn't dare to approach him even if they were facing a group of crazy demons. He scanned the surroundings and fixed his eyes on the experts of the Angel clan and the top experts of the Phoenix clan. Wang Xian moved his palm and the 5 elements grindstone flew towards an expert from the Angel race. This angel was surrounded by a large number of third-order universe sovereigns. He had a powerful treasure in his hand and was desperately trying to escape. However, when he sensed Wang Xian's 5 elements grindstone attacking him, his body trembled and his face was filled with despair. Bam! The 5 elements grindstone arrived above him and destroyed the battle angels around him before suppressing him easily. Arg! Kill, kill, kill. When another angel was suppressed by Wang Xian, some of the experts from the Phoenix clan and the Angel clan who had noticed the commotion instantly went berserk. They had to go all out. Even if they had to suffer heavy injuries, even if they had to fight with their last breath, they had to go all out. Because if they didn't fight, they would die. There was no chance at all. When Wang Xian saw this, he smiled faintly. With a wave of his hand, the 5 elements grindstone charged towards the elite experts of the Phoenix clan. An unparalleled power descended directly on top of him. The Phoenix clan's top powerhouse smiled bitterly when he saw this. Ah! The Dragon King is invincible. Yao Yui gave a flattering roar. He spread his wings and they rapidly expanded, covering the entire sky. He flapped his huge wings and countless golden quicksand and terrifying hurricanes formed, attacking the battle angels in front of him. Sha sha sha. The terrifying attack directly penetrated the bodies of the battle angels, causing them to collapse rapidly. Ah! A blood-curdling scream rang out. In the surroundings, Ming Sha Sheng, Shirsen, Lei Shan, and the other mad demons also took out their special moves. Terrifying meteorites fell from the sky and smashed towards the experts of the Phoenix clan. The ghostly dark ghost doppelganger ignored physical attacks and shuttled through the battlefield like a shadow. The lightning-fast Lei Shan caused explosions in the sky. With every explosion, a powerhouse from the Phoenix clan and the Angel clan would die. It was a terrifying formation and the heavy water was heavy. When the mad demons took out their special moves, it was a nightmare for the experts of the Phoenix clan and the Angel clan. Every mad demon had killed their way out of the invincible domain. They had forged their reputation with the blood of a large number of experts. Now that the 7 of them had joined forces, one could imagine how terrifying they were. However, the one that terrified everyone the most was the Dragon King. Wang Xian stood there and killed any experts with a wave of his hand. None of the experts could withstand a single blow from him. It's over. This time, none of the experts of the Phoenix clan and the Angel clan can escape. Genius Wang Xian waved his arm and killed them all. Standing in the sky, Wang Xian checked all the information in his mind. Soon he opened his eyes and looked to the side. Next, I'll look for the experts of the Angel clan and the Phoenix clan in the invincible domain and kill them. When Wu Sha and the rest heard Wang Xian, they were slightly shocked. However, they nodded immediately and said, "Yes, Dragon King. Let's go." As Wang Xian spoke, the energy of the unbeginning sacred wings shrouded them. Search for the news of the Angel clan and the Phoenix clan on the Universe AI or somewhere else. After that, we'll rush over. Yes, Dragon King. The 7 mad demons took action immediately. At this moment, Wang Xian's eyes were filled with a cold, murderous intent. The Angel clan and Wang Xian were already at each other's throats. They had tried to eliminate him time and time again. In that case, he didn't have to worry about the identity of the Angel clan. As for the Phoenix clan, Wang Xian had found some clues from the memories of the Phoenix clan. This was related to the Divine Dragon Island. The Divine Dragon Island was once the old lair of the Divine Dragon bloodline. That was the origin of the Divine Dragon clan and also the foundation of the Divine Dragon clan. Currently, the paradise on the Divine Dragon Island had been occupied by the cosmic beasts in the Sea of Mountains. However, he knew from the memories of an expert of the Phoenix clan that the Green River Aqua Phoenix often visited the Divine Dragon Island. Chapter 3691. Starry behemoths of the mountains and seas occupied Divine Dragon Island, and the Green River aquatic phoenixes entered Divine Dragon Island. Is there a connection between these two? The astral beasts are different from the other peak races. They live more like beasts, hunting, growing, and hibernating. After the divine dragon race was destroyed, the other peak races did not occupy the divine dragon race's nest? How did it get occupied by giant star beast? Is it because they're strong? If they were strong, how could the Green River Aqua Phoenix enter? Wang Xian was flying in the void at high speed with his eyes shining brightly. At the thought of the situation on the Divine Dragon Island, Wang Xian's mind raced. The leader of the ancestral dragon bloodline seemed to have been to the Divine Dragon Island. In the end, after being killed by the leader of the sacred dragon bloodline, he sent a message saying, "Be careful of the phoenix." There must be an important reason behind this. No matter what, the Angel Clan and Phoenix Clan have to pay the price for attacking me. I can't attack the disciples of the Angel Clan and Phoenix Clan outside, but there are no such rules in the invincible domain. Wang Xian's eyes gleamed with sharpness. He wanted to annihilate all the experts from the Angel and Phoenix clans in the invincible domain. Leave no one alive. He wanted to let the two peak races know that he was not to be trifled with. Of course, perhaps the peak clans did not care about the disciples in the invincible domain. But that was not important. Most importantly, Wang Xian wanted to kill them. However, just as Wang Xian was flying in the void, the news of what had happened in the trading center spread like wildfire across the invincible domain. The Angel race and Phoenix race's experts joined forces, and over 800 Third Order sovereigns surrounded the Dragon King. In the end, 7 crazed demons suddenly appeared. Under the Dragon King's command, they killed all the experts of the Angel race and Phoenix race. This matter caused a huge sensation. The entire invincible domain shook violently. This actually happened when we were leaving. This is simply unbelievable. Fuck, the experts of the Phoenix Clan and the Angel Clan are joining hands? Over 800 Third Order sovereigns besieging the Dragon King? The Dragon King is the leader of the 7 deranged devils, and they've been subdued by the Dragon King? Every piece of news is enough to stir up the entire invincible region. The 7 crazed devils of the invincible realm have submitted to the Dragon King? All the experts of the Phoenix Clan and the Angel Clan were killed under the Dragon King's order? Is this? You didn't see it? The Dragon King's strength is the most terrifying. He can easily kill a mad demon. Mad demons can't even put up a fight in front of him. Why are the experts of the Phoenix Clan working together with the Angel Clan? Is it because of the eternal pregnancy fruit? But they were all wiped out by the Dragon King. It's too tragic. The Dragon King is an existence that cannot be fought in the invincible domain. On the universe AI, the invincible domain was in an uproar. This news was too shocking for them. It didn't matter if the Angel Clan and the Phoenix Clan joined forces to besiege the Dragon King. Or did the 7 deranged demons submit to the Dragon King? Or perhaps it was the strength displayed by the Dragon King that shook the entire invincible domain. In this world there really was no enemy. In an instant, the Dragon King became the true king of the invincible domain. An invincible king. At the same time, I am at a place in the Radiance God Mountain. The third prince of the Radiance Angel Clan stood in front of the throne in the palace. He looked at the information on the Universe AI with a cold expression. On his Universe AI there was a message from Angel Gardecker. The content of the message was, "Sooner or later I will kill you and pull out your wings." When he saw this message, his eyes were filled with a violent murderous intent. He naturally knew that this message was not sent by Angel Gardecker. He also naturally knew that this message was sent by the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. A puny Dragon King dares to provoke me. You are courting death. His expression was extremely cold and his expression was somewhat ugly, especially when he found out about the situation in the invincible domain. He handed over so many battle angels to his subordinates and took out so many resources. He even allied with the Aqua Phoenix of Xinjiang. In the end, they were still easily wiped out by the Dragon King. This made him furious, but at the same time, he had a new understanding of the Dragon King's strength. It's impossible to exterminate the Dragon King in the invincible domain after subduing 7 crazy devils. Furthermore, the Dragon King's battle prowess isn't any weaker than a second-order sovereign. He might be in existence on the same level as the 5 elements divine dragons. The third prince's expression changed constantly. He waved his arm and a phoenix image appeared in front of him. Ripples appeared, and a few seconds later, a figure formed. Have you received the situation in the invincible domain? The third prince asked the Aqua Phoenix image. Yes, unless a universe sovereign level expert makes a move, it will be very difficult to kill him. The Aqua Phoenix also frowned slightly. Their failure this time was completely out of their expectations. With the strength that the Dragon King had displayed, it would be very difficult to kill him. Do we really have to wait for the Dragon King to break through to the Sovereign Realm? Do we really have to wait for the Dragon Palace to reach the peak of the race? The third prince said. There is another way. Forget it, the possibility is too small. We can only wait for the Dragon Palace to reach the pinnacle. The Aqua Phoenix hesitated for a moment and said. The third prince raised his eyebrows and looked at her. What is the way you are talking about? The land of mountains and seas, but this method is not feasible. Forget it. The Aqua Phoenix shook her head. When the third prince heard this, he pondered for a moment and then shook his head. There was no other way. I don't know how long we have to wait. The third prince said with a little reluctance. This wait could be at least a few thousand years or at most tens of thousands of years. The Aqua Phoenix shook her head. Given the current situation, they were completely helpless. The Dragon King's influence had been established. Unless they broke the rules and attacked, they would not be able to eliminate him. Once they broke the rules and eliminated him. Given the relationship between the Dragon Palace and the Elf clan, they would definitely be punished. The loss outweighed the gain. Dragon King, there are experts from the Dark Angel gathering in a blessed grotto heaven. In the invincible domain, Wang Xian led Wuxia and the rest towards the periphery. Soon Wuxia and the rest received a message and reported it to Wang Xian. In the invincible domain, there were still many old monsters from the Angel clan. After all, there were only a dozen experts from the Angel clan who attacked this time. In the invincible domain, there were at least 200 to 300 experts from the Angel clan, especially the Dark Angel clan. For the convenience of reading next time, you can click on the collection button below to record this event. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. If you like Invincible Dragon Cultivation System. Chapter 3692. Let's go. Wang Xian's eyes flickered coldly when he heard Wuxia's report. As long as he could find the experts from the Angel clan and Phoenix clan in the Invincible domain, he would not spare a single one. Dragon King, in that direction in the Invincible zone, there are many experts from various peak clans here. There are no less than 300 experts from each peak clan. There are at least 300 experts from the Angel clan. Wuxia explained to Wang Xian. Wang Xian nodded his head. With a swift movement, he flew over quickly. The invincible domain was huge. However, after Wang Xian's breakthrough, his speed had reached a terrifying level. Now, if he were to fly from one side to the other, he would only need a dozen or so days. This speed was undoubtedly terrifying in the invincible domain. Of course, Wang Xian's current speed was comparable to a third-order sovereign realm expert. No matter how big the invincible domain was, it was ultimately a domain destroyed by a battlefield. Compared to the real universe and the chaotic continent, it was still a drop in the ocean. I never expected the Dragon King to have such terrifying strength. This time, a dozen Radiance Angels and a powerful angel army were easily killed by the Dragon King. The Dragon King's strength is indeed insane. Even when he was at the peak of the Divine Dragon clan, his aptitude should have been top-notch. As for the Radiance Angels, the third prince has been trying to kill the Dragon King, right? Now that he has failed so many times, it's a disgrace to the Angel clan. It's fine to say these words here, but you mustn't say them outside. Otherwise, if we offend our superiors, we won't even know how we died. The third prince had to put in so much effort to kill the Dragon King. Now, the entire universe knows that the Angel clan has been trying to kill the Dragon King time and time again, only to fail. It's mainly because the Dragon King is too demon-like. In the invincible domain, a group of dark angels gathered around the 9 Underworlds Flame Avatar and discussed. The 9 Underworlds Flame Avatar was the corpse of a huge cosmic beast. The enormous corpses formed an area that was known as the 9 Netherworld Flame Body. This was a heavenly paradise that was extremely suitable for dark attribute experts to cultivate. It was also occupied by a group of dark angels. Dozens of dark angels gathered together to discuss the most shocking news in the invincible domain. And this matter also involved their angel clan. Rumor has it that Mad Demon only needs to consume a large amount of eternal pregnancy fruits to break through. I wonder if it's true. I think it's highly possible that it's true. This might be the reason why the 7 deranged demons submitted to the Dragon King. The 2 dark angels continued their conversation. It's a pity that the Dragon King is too strong. It would be difficult to get a large number of eternal pregnancy fruits from him unless it's a trade. Moreover, the Dragon King is selling them at a very high price. A dark angel said, shaking his head slightly. The rest of the dark angels nodded silently. If the Dragon King wasn't so powerful, they would definitely snatch it by force. Dragon King, it's right in front. While they were discussing, what the Dark Angels didn't know was that the Dragon King they were discussing had already arrived in front of them. Wuxia pointed to the area ahead as she spoke to Wang Xian. This giant star beast's corpse is really huge. Looking at the huge skeleton, Wang Xian was shocked. Some experts have guessed that this corpse is at least the corpse of a Fourth-Order Universe Sovereign Realm space beast. Lei Shan answered. Wang Xian nodded his head. His dragon eyes scanned the area ahead and flew straight ahead. He didn't conceal himself or restrain his aura as he flew straight in. Someone's intruding. At the same time, the group of dark angels within the body of the underworld's flames immediately sensed something when Wang Xian entered. This was their lair. Naturally, they had set up a perimeter around it. Whoever dares to intrude into our territory is courting death. In the center, a dark angel stared outside with his blood-red eyes. His pair of wings flapped slightly and his body was filled with a tyrannical aura. With a move of their bodies, dozens of dark angels immediately flew out. As soon as they flew out, they saw 8 figures flying towards them. The one in the lead was in human form and also had a pair of wings. As for the people around him, when the group of dark angels saw the figures around him, their bodies stiffened slightly. Their eyes narrowed and their faces were filled with shock. That's the wings of the demonic maniac. That's the demonic maniac Shursen. Demonic maniac Thunderflash. Demonic maniac wings, Shursen and Lei Shan were immediately recognized. The next moment, all their gazes were focused on Wang Xian with respect. It went without saying. This was the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. Greetings, Dragon King. May I know why the Dragon King is here? The group of dark angels was shocked. Looking at the Dragon King in front of them, they felt a little numb. But at this moment, they also knew that it was impossible to escape from the Dragon King. They braced themselves and asked with cupped fists. Why are you asking when you already know the answer? Of course, I'm here to kill the guys from the Angel Clan. Ming Shaxing stared at them and asked with a stern face. Kill us? Dragon King, what the Radiant Angels are doing has nothing to do with the Dark Angels. One of the Dark Angels was shocked as he quickly shouted. You are all from the same clan. I don't care if you are Dark Angels or Radiant Angels. Wang Xian's eyes were filled with cold, killing intent. Although the Angel Clan was divided into Radiant and Dark, they were a whole. If the Angel Clan wanted to kill him, would Wang Xian care if they were Dark Angels or Radiant Angels? They had to die. Swoosh. As soon as he finished his sentence, the unbeginning sacred wings flapped violently and appeared before the dozens of Dark Angels at a terrifying speed. At the same time, a surge of energy grabbed them completely. No, no, no. Seeing Wang Xian appearing before them in an instant, a group of Dark Angels screamed in horror and despair. But in the next moment, a surge of energy shrouded them. Soon they summoned their holy nations. With a wave of his arm, Wang Xian killed a total of 48 Dark Angels. Let's continue. Wang Xian kept the corpses and said emotionlessly to them. It's the Dragon King. Dragon King, there's another place where many experts are gathered. There are definitely experts from the Angel Clan and possibly the Phoenix Clan. Wuxia continued. Chapter 3693. Invincible City is rumored to be the place where the Great War in the Invincible Domain ended. There are 5 to 6 corpses of cosmic giant beasts there, as well as the ruins of 7 to 8 cosmic god nations. The energy there is chaotic, but it's a great place for experts to cultivate. Many experts from the Invincible Domain gather there. Invincible City was a place where treasures gathered in the Invincible Domain. There were 7 to 8 ruins of holy nations and 5 to 6 corpses of cosmic giant beasts. The energy there was boundless. There were many experts gathered there, but these experts were from various races. Wuxia wasn't sure exactly how many angels and phoenixes there were, but there were definitely some. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly. With a swift move, he flew in the direction of Invincible City. He was fast, and no experts knew that more than 40 dark angels were killed at the body of flames of the underworld. A day later, Wang Xian arrived at the front of Invincible City. Rather than calling it a city, it was more like a place where corpses and broken holy nations gathered. The good thing was that it was not too messy. Wang Xian could sense quite a number of experts gathering in Invincible City from where he was standing. The number of experts was no less than 700 to 800. There were even 2 powerhouses engaged in a life and death battle in one of the locations. Surround the entire Invincible City. I'll go in. Wang Xian looked at Wuxia and the rest as he ordered. Yes, Dragon King. Wuxia and the rest nodded. The 7 crazy demons looked at each other and flew in all directions. They wanted to surround the entire invincible city. As for Wang Xian, he flew in directly and scanned the surroundings. The pinnacle races had their unique aura. The angel race had the power of light and darkness. The phoenix race had the power of phoenix. With just a little sensing, he could lock onto the angels and phoenixes. Who's this? It's the Dragon King. Yes, he's the Dragon King. What's the Dragon King doing here? After Wang Xian entered, he scanned the surroundings without any scruples. When some experts saw him, their faces were filled with awe and respect as they asked in surprise. A few days ago, Wang Xian was truly invincible in the invincible domain. Now all the old monsters were in awe of the Dragon King. Greetings, Dragon King. Some of the old monsters even bowed respectfully when they saw Wang Xian. Wang Xian swept a glance and continued to observe the surroundings. Brother Black Open Air, look over there. Dragon King? On a high platform in Invincible City, waves of energy surged up from below. A dozen or so old monsters were sitting cross-legged at the top, and in front of them was a chessboard. Suddenly, an old monster noticed Wang Xian from afar and exclaimed in surprise. The dozen or so old monsters looked over with sparkling eyes. Among them there was a dark angel, a radiant angel, and the rest were old monsters of other races. They looked at Wang Xian. Wang Xian had also sensed them. When Wang Xian saw that there were 2 experts from the angel clan among them, he revealed a faint smile. He immediately flew over. The Dragon King is coming to our side. The Dragon King is invincible. We have to be more respectful. Upon seeing Wang Xian flying over, dozens of experts transmitted their voices to each other. Greetings, Dragon King. When they saw Wang Xian flying over, they immediately greeted him respectfully. The current Wang Xian was qualified to receive their huge gifts. Wang Xian nodded his head plainly. With a swing of his arm, 2 chains struck towards the Radiant Angel and Dark Angel instantly. What? When the 2 angels saw Wang Xian attacking them suddenly, their expressions changed drastically. Dragon King, why are you attacking us? They wanted to dodge, but Wang Xian was too fast for them to react in time. The Dark Angel yelled with an incomparably ugly and furious expression. Because you are disciples of the Angel clan. You deserve to die. Upon hearing him, Wang Xian replied plainly. A wave of energy from the chains surged into their bodies. Ark. The 2 angels let out a blood-curdling scream as their bodies trembled violently. In the next moment they were pulled into the Dragon Palace by Wang Xian and suppressed. Just because they were disciples of the Angel clan. This was a war between races. After suppressing the 2 angels, Wang Xian looked around and continued flying forward. At the side, dozens of experts were shivering in fear. When Wang Xian struck, they felt death looming over them. Seeing that Wang Xian had left, they gasped in shock. Is this the strength of the Dragon King? Hei Lang and the rest didn't even have the strength to resist. The Dragon King is killing the experts of the Angel clan. Is he here to wipe out the experts of the Angel clan? Only the Dragon King can kill the experts of the Angel clan without any scruples, right? The dozens of experts were shocked to see this scene. Cold sweat broke out on their foreheads as they commented. Over there, I can sense the aura of the experts of the Phoenix clan. Wang Xian looked to the right and flew over immediately. His eyes were fixed on a building. His eyes flickered as he clawed his arm. A grayish dragon claw grabbed towards that building. Who's there? A voice was heard from within the building. Following which, a golden phoenix flew out with golden radiance. I, the Dragon King, am here to kill you. Wang Xian looked at the golden phoenix and spoke plainly. The dragon claw grabbed towards him once again. Dragon King? I didn't offend you. Why are you attacking me? Why are you trying to kill me? The golden phoenix was obviously unaware of what had happened in the trading center as he roared in anger. He flapped his golden wings and shot rays of golden radiance towards the dragon claw. However, his attack had no effect on the dragon claw as it continued to grab towards him at a terrifying speed. Because you phoenixes deserve to die. Wang Xian replied calmly upon hearing his words. The dragon claw grabbed his body directly. A surge of energy surged into his body and wiped out his vitality. What? There's a battle over there. It's the Dragon King. The Dragon King is killing the experts of the Phoenix clan. The commotion here had attracted the attention of many old monsters in the surroundings. They looked over and saw a golden phoenix being suppressed by Wang Xian. Upon hearing his words, they were shocked. Because you phoenixes deserve to die? The Dragon King is killing the experts of the Phoenix clan. The Dragon King is taking revenge. He's taking revenge on the Phoenix clan and the Angel clan for attacking him. This is too unscrupulous and domineering. He's killing the experts of the Phoenix clan and the Angel clan directly. When they looked over, their faces were filled with shock. One had to know that the other party was backed by the top clans. Chapter 3694. Bam. After suppressing another golden phoenix, Wang Xian continued to scan the surroundings. Wang Xian's actions had shaken the entire invincible city. The news of the Dragon King killing the experts from the Angel clan and the Phoenix clan in Invincible City spread like wildfire. There are dozens of experts from the Angel clan here. Wang Xian didn't bother about the experts around him. With a swift movement, he sensed dozens of angels ahead and immediately flew over. What happened next was simple. When Wang Xian flew over, the dozens of angels couldn't put up any resistance. They were all suppressed by Wang Xian amidst their indignation, anger, and fear. What awaited them was death. Wang Xian had already listed the Angel clan as the strongest and also an enemy that he would not rest until he was dead. The continuous attacks from the Angel clan had made Wang Xian decide that if he was strong enough, he would definitely make the Angel clan pay a heavy price. Oh no, the Dragon King is killing the experts from the Angel clan in Invincible City. Run. We didn't offend the Dragon King. Why is he killing us? Could it be that they blamed the siege at the trading venue on us angels? A prince from the Angel clan has always wanted to destroy the Dragon King and the Dragon Palace. He should be the one who attacked the trading area. Now the Dragon King is looking for the experts from the Angel clan. Once he finds them, he will kill them immediately. Let's run. There were still many experts from the Angel clan in Invincible City. The Phoenix clan had sent more than 90% of the Phoenixes in Invincible City to attack Wang Xian. As for the Angel clan, they didn't send many. The third prince only ordered a dozen angels to lead the Angel army to attack the Dragon King. Therefore, there were still many old monsters from the Angel clan in Invincible City. The experts from the Angel clan in Invincible City felt extremely aggrieved when they heard the news. They didn't dare to hesitate and immediately fled. However, before they could escape, they saw a bunch of crazed demons floating in the air around Invincible City, staring coldly at them. Oh no, it's the crazy demons that the Dragon King has subdued. We're doomed. Scatter and run. Damn it. The Prince of the Light clan offended the Dragon King. Why did he implicate us? Damn it. The group of angels looked around in horror, and one of the dark angels roared with an abnormally ugly expression. You guys from the Angel clan still want to escape? When Lei Shan saw them, he displayed his terrifying strength. In an instant, he arrived in front of the dozens of angels, his eyes filled with a cold expression. The radiant angels were experts in legion warfare. They all had their own angel corps. Dark angels were different. They generally relied on their own strength and did not have an angel corps. However, when the dozens of angels saw Thunderflash attacking them, their expressions changed drastically. Attack him. The dozens of angels gritted their teeth and roared loudly. Haha, with just you two? Today I'll play with you. Old Witch Yao Feather, don't attack. Lei Shan laughed out loud and roared loudly. This was the first time he had fought such a carefree battle since he had regained his consciousness. Soloing dozens of angels was just right. Hee hee. Around them, Wuxia and the others smiled coldly. They just stood there and watched, not interfering. Rumble, rumble, rumble. That is? The Dragon King's subordinates are crazy demons. They are fighting with the experts from the Angel clan. Now the entire Invincible City has been surrounded by 7 crazy demons. Moreover, those crazy demons are just fooling around. Only Thunderflash Crazy Demon is attacking. This? How can the experts from the Phoenix clan and Angel clan escape from the Invincible City? They're dead meat. The battle here had attracted the attention of many experts in the Invincible City. They looked over with gleaming eyes and discussed fervently. Next, all the experts in the Invincible City watched in awe as Wang Xian cleaned up the experts from the Angel clan and the Phoenix clan one by one. No one dared to stop him and no one dared to say anything. Even the experts who were on good terms with the Angels and Phoenix clan could only watch from the side. At this moment, no one dared to provoke the Dragon King. And no one dared to provoke the Dragon King. Everyone in the Invincible Domain knew the current strength of the Dragon King. More than an hour later, Wang Xian had cleaned up the entire Invincible City. 83 experts from the Angel clan and 5 experts from the Phoenix clan were all suppressed by him. Let's go. After cleaning up, Wang Xian flew out of the invincible city and said to Wuxia and the rest, "Yes, Dragon King." Wuxia and the rest followed behind and quickly disappeared into the void. The 7 crazy demons have completely submitted to the Dragon King. It seems like it won't be long before the Dragon Palace can be promoted to the pinnacle of the races. The Dragon Palace's promotion to the pinnacle of the races is almost 100% certain. The Divine Dragon Clan is indeed the Divine Dragon Clan. Their bloodline is too strong. The experts in the invincible city murmured as they watched them leave. In the following period of time, Wang Xian led the 7 crazy demons to kill the experts from the Angel Clan and the Phoenix Clan in a frenzy within the invincible domain. This news spread quickly within the invincible domain. Damn it, the Radiance Angel has completely angered the Dragon King. Let's hurry and escape from the invincible domain. Run, run. As long as the Dragon King is around, we will all be in great danger. That Dragon King is so arrogant to hunt the experts from the Angel Clan. One day the Angel Clan will make him pay 1,000 times over. Half a month later, almost all the experts in the invincible domain knew about this matter. The experts from the Angel Clan and the Phoenix Clan also flew out of the invincible domain in fear. Currently, no one in the invincible domain could stop the Dragon King. If they did not leave, they would die if they encountered him. This made the old monsters from the Angel Clan and the Phoenix Clan extremely frustrated. However, they could only flee. This caused the experts from the Angel Clan and the Phoenix Clan to disappear within a short period of time within the invincible domain. We haven't found any experts from the Angel Clan for 5 to 6 days. After a month, Wang Xian frowned and said, "Dragon King, the news of you hunting the experts from the Angel Clan and the Phoenix Clan has spread. The experts from the 2 pinnacle races should have escaped." Wuxia said, "That's right, Dragon King. You single-handedly allowed the experts from the 2 pinnacle races to escape from the invincible domain. This is the first time in more than 10 billion years that someone has achieved such a magnificent feat." Ming Shuxing, who was beside her, chimed in. Chapter 3695. Hee, let's go to the territory of the giant beasts of starry sky. Wang Xian smiled faintly when he heard their words. In the invincible domain, the old monsters of the 2 pinnacle races were completely terrified. They were either hiding in a very secluded place or had escaped back to their races. It would be extremely difficult to find them. Wang Xian did not intend to continue his search. He headed to the territory of the giant beasts of starry sky and killed them. Wang Xian's trip to the invincible domain could be considered to be very satisfactory after getting rid of the giant beasts of starry sky. "Yes, Dragon King." Wuxia and the rest answered and followed Wang Xian into the territory of the giant beasts of starry sky. Just as Wang Xian headed towards the territory of the giant beasts of starry sky and was about to carry out a massacre, news from the outside world blew up in the chaotic continent. This news came from within the invincible domain. It also came from the declaration of an expert from the Dark Angels of the Angel Clan, one of the pinnacle races. When Wang Xian hunted down the experts from the Angel Clan and the Phoenix Clan in the invincible domain, it completely infuriated the old monsters of the 2 pinnacle races, especially the Dark Angels. All along, it had always been the Radiance Angels who attacked the Dragon King. In the end, they suffered an unexpected disaster. They were attacked by the Dragon King. There were even hundreds of Dark Angels who died in the hands of the Dragon King. This filled the Dark Angels who escaped from the invincible domain with rage. The Dark Angels who escaped from the invincible domain came to complain to their seniors. Although it was the Angel Clan who had been besieging and trying to destroy the Dragon King, there was still a difference between the Radiance Angels and the Dark Angels. The Dark Angels also bore the consequences for the Radiance Angels. This made one of the Dark Angels' experts of the Dark Angels very unhappy. This Dragon King is too arrogant. He killed the disciples of the Dark Angels when the Radiance Angels attacked him. He must be courting death. The eyes of a Dark Angel expert of the sovereign level were filled with coldness. He naturally could not blame the Radiance Angels for this matter. The Radiance Angels and the Dark Angels were 2 different races, but they were also one race. They had the same Angel Emperor. Dragon King, you killed the Dark Angels wantonly in the invincible domain. Just you wait and see. Your Dragon Palace will be annihilated one day. This Dominator-level Dark Angel directly declared on the universe's AI. And because a Dominator-level expert made such a declaration on the universe's AI, it attracted the attention of many experts. What happened in the invincible domain was especially huge. The experts and disciples of other peak clans also received the news. This caused them to participate in the discussion in the invincible domain. I heard from a senior in the clan that the Dragon King was invincible in the invincible domain. He subdued 7 mad devils and killed 2 to 3 of them. Moreover, the angel race and phoenix race sent over 800 third-order sovereigns to attack him, but they were all killed instead. This Dragon King is a little sick. He's definitely not an ordinary mutant divine dragon. He can even kill a crazed demon in the invincible domain. How terrifying. He's definitely invincible below the ruler level. Invincible. They're really invincible below the dominator realm. It looks like it won't be long before the Dragon Palace rises to the level of a peak race. On the Universe AI, the experts and disciples of the pinnacle races were discussing in shock. As for the discussion of the disciples of the peak races, the experts of the various high-level races and forces in the chaotic continent could naturally see it as well. They looked at the news one by one, and their faces were filled with shock. It can't be? The Dragon King is really invincible in the invincible domain? Hiss, is this real or fake? Even the experts and disciples of the pinnacle races are saying that the Dragon King is invincible below the ruler level? The Dragon King actually forced 2 experts from the pinnacle races to escape from the invincible domain. He actually subdued 7 of the strongest existences in the invincible domain. This is unbelievable. Just how strong is the Dragon King now to be able to infuriate a ruler from the angel race? Over 800 third-order sovereigns surrounded the Dragon King, but they were all killed by the Dragon King? Even a true first or second-order universe sovereign wouldn't be this strong, right? When the experts of the various races of chaotic continent received this news, their faces were filled with disbelief and shock. How long has it been since the Dragon King entered the invincible domain? Just a few years, right? But a few years had actually caused the entire invincible domain to tremble, causing 2 experts from the pinnacle races to escape from the invincible domain, and to become truly invincible. Such a battle record was simply unprecedented below the universe sovereign realm. The experts of the pinnacle races said that the Dragon Palace will become a pinnacle race soon. It seems like the Dragon Palace is really going to rise. I can't believe that the Dragon Palace is actually going to become a pinnacle race in such a short time. The Dragon King is too strong. This is simply recreating the glory of the divine dragon bloodline. What the ancestral dragon leader failed to do is about to be done by the Dragon King. The group of experts from the higher echelons discussed in shock on the Universe AI. Kiki. At the same time, in the Dragon Palace below the Heaven Eternal River, Prime Minister Turtle and the experts of the Dragon Palace looked at the information on the Universe AI, their faces filled with pride. That was their Dragon King. Their invincible Dragon King. The resources that the Dragon King brought this time are too much. The Dragon Palace will definitely receive a terrifying upgrade. Prime Minister Turtle stood in the dragon transformation pool, smiling as he looked ahead. This time, Wuxia had killed more than 1,000 third-order universe sovereigns in the invincible domain. Among them, many of the corpses were far stronger than ordinary third-order universe sovereigns by 1 to 2 times, or even 3 to 4 times. Other than these, there were also the corpses of giant space beasts and about 5,000 driftwood birds. These driftwood birds were wild beasts with second-order universe sovereigns' combat strength. 5,000, a total of 5,000. This was enough to increase the number of third-order universe sovereigns in the Dragon Palace by 500. Other than that, there were also a large number of divine kingdoms and innate spiritual treasures. In short, the upgrade of the Dragon Palace this time was unprecedented. The experts of the Dragon Palace would also reach a terrifying level. Although they might not be comparable to the pinnacle races, at least in terms of foundation, the Dragon Palace had received a huge boost. However, none of this was known to the outside world. When the Dragon Palace displayed its strength again, even the pinnacle races would be shocked. Chapter 3696, Dragon King, it's right in front. Just as the outside world was in shock, Wuxia and the rest pointed to the front and said to Wuxia from the space giant beast territory in the invincible domain. In front of them, there was an incomparably huge lair in sight. This was a beehive-like nest that contained a terrifying amount of energy. The energy made Wuxia and the rest shudder. They did not dare to enter recklessly. What is this? Do you know? Wuxia stared at them and raised his eyebrows. The horrifying beehive-like building in front was very strange and contained a very powerful aura. Even Wuxia found this aura a little terrifying. An existence that could make him feel fear was definitely not an ordinary thing. I don't know. Wuxia shook her head. It's a little strange indeed. This is the deepest part of the invincible domain. In the past, there were powerful space giant beasts roaming around here. Even with our strength, we could not come here. Ming Shashing said with a contemplative look on his face. I remember a senior once said that he went to the deepest part of the invincible domain and saw an unusable treasure. It should be this treasure. An unusable treasure? Upon hearing his words, Wang Xian revealed a doubtful look. Yes, I don't know why the senior said that. But he should be talking about the nest in front. This nest doesn't look like a dilapidated holy nation. Ming Shashing nodded and said. It doesn't look like it. Lei Shan looked ahead and nodded. But this building is still here and has not been taken away by the experts from the peak races. There must be a special reason. Wang Xian nodded and said, a group of space giant beasts is hiding in here. Not here. Wuxia nodded and said, Dragon King, according to the investigation of my array, they are hiding over there. Look, there is a dilapidated holy nation beside this strange building. Wang Xian looked over and indeed, there was a dilapidated holy nation beside the beehive. More than half of the holy nation was submerged in this beehive. Let's go over. Wang Xian looked at the dilapidated god nation that had sunk into the hive and flew over. At the same time he sent a message to Enlai. As he approached the side of the beehive building, Wang Xian suddenly sensed a slightly familiar aura. His eyes widened and he laid down a demon spirit altar in front of him. Greetings, Dragon King. The next moment, Enlai appeared in front of Wang Xian and bowed to him. Wuxia and the others were surprised to see Enlai suddenly appear. Directly ignoring space and the void barrier of the invincible domain, this ability was a little strange. Dragon King, this strange building gives me a very familiar feeling. It feels like it's in space. Enlai's gaze fell on the beehive building as soon as he appeared, and he said with a puzzled expression, Really? When Wang Xian saw it, his eyes lit up. Space was what Enlai called his ability. Whether it was teleportation or teleportation, Dark Blaze's abilities involved space. And in the universe there was no space attribute. The universe's origin source had 9 great attributes. The origin source attribute could fuse and evolve into other special attributes, but the space attribute was not present. There was no such thing as a time attribute. But Enlai could control space. This was very strange. This had something to do with the demon spirit altar and the demons that he had met previously. Did this beehive building have a space that Enlai was familiar with? Enlai, enter the dilapidated holy kingdom at the side first. Be careful when you enter. There are some powerful star behemoths inside. Wang Xian's eyes flickered slightly. The Tai Chi dragon coiled around Enlai and said to him, Yes, Dragon King. Enlai shifted his gaze to the dilapidated holy kingdom at the side. In the next moment his figure disappeared. Dragon King, this is? When Lei Shan and the others saw Enlai vanish in an incomparably strange manner, they were all astonished. They could sense that Enlai did not seem strong, but his ability to appear and disappear mysteriously surprised them. Wang Xian did not answer them but stood there quietly. Soon Enlai appeared by Wang Xian's side and nodded to Wang Xian. Let's go. Don't resist. Wang Xian ordered Wuxia and the rest. Enlai's energy enveloped them and they disappeared instantly. After they entered, Wang Xian scanned the surroundings. This was the interior of an ordinary dilapidated holy kingdom. As far as he could see, he did not see any star behemoths. There's a lingering aura of a star behemoth here, but it seems to have left. Wuxia sensed the surroundings with a compass in her hand. She frowned slightly. The intelligence of star behemoths is not low. They might have left. Shursen said. Wang Xian scanned his surroundings and fixed his eyes on the spot in front of him. He moved and flew over immediately. As he flew forward, Wang Xian realized that the void in front of him seemed to be separated. And a part of this holy kingdom had integrated into another space. Could it be inside? Water Demon flew over and guessed. Wuxia held the sorcerer's compass and frowned. She could not figure out anything. Enlai, can you sense anything? Wang Xian stared ahead and asked. Dragon King, the energy that separated the void is similar to the energy in my body. Enlai's eyes flickered as he spoke. The birth of Enlai was very coincidental and strange. It could not be replicated. Enlai's advancement was also very strange. He needed to absorb the energy of the demonic soul altar. In his mind, there was an icon of the demonic soul altar. It was densely packed with countless icons. He could teleport directly, but the place he would be teleported to was very strange and creepy. That place did not seem to be the interior of the chaotic continent. There were also creepy creatures there. With Wang Xian's current knowledge, he still could not figure out what that place was. In short, everything seemed very strange. He was also very curious about this beehive building that was similar to Enlai's energy. Go inside and take a look. Be careful. Wang Xian said to him. Dragon King, I don't think I need to teleport. As Enlai spoke, he walked to the energy that separated the void and reached out to touch it. His palm passed through it easily. Huh. Wang Xian saw this and raised his eyebrows. He walked over and reached out his palm. However, his palm was blocked outside. The power of the 5 elements was condensed, but it had no effect on this energy. Chapter 3697. Even with Wang Xian's current strength, which was stronger than a second-order universe sovereign, he was able to make this void barrier remain motionless. Yet Enlai could stretch out his hand and pass it over. One could imagine that this energy was similar to the energy in Enlai's body. Go in. Wang Xian said to Enlai. Enlai nodded. With a move, his figure disappeared. Wuxia and the rest reached out to touch. They wanted to enter, but there was no way. Dragon King. The next moment, Enlai's figure appeared. He looked at Wang Xian with a tinge of shock in his eyes. What's wrong? Wang Xian looked at him. Dragon King, there are dozens of corpses inside. Take a look. As he spoke, Wang Xian felt the surrounding scene change. It was as though they had entered a special space. There was no attribute in this space. He could not feel any energy. Dragon King, I can feel the energy in my god nation being isolated. Shursen suddenly exclaimed. Energy was isolated. This meant that they could not absorb energy from the god nation. There was no energy here. As time passed, their physical bodies would die here. In other words, they would die for real. There is no energy around and the god nation is isolated. Wang Xian nodded his head and looked ahead. At this moment, they seemed to have entered the interior of a beehive. This was an oval space. In front of this space there were corpses. There were human experts' corpses and a few galactic beasts' corpses. The galactic beasts' corpses were obviously killed. As for the human corpses, they were entrenched there. It was as though they had died because there was no energy to absorb. Dragon King, look. That corpse has golden skin, golden hair, and golden bones. It's a gold man. It's a gold man. Suddenly, an exclamation was heard. Wang Xian looked over and fixed his eyes on the golden corpse. The gold man was also known as the golden war god. It was once a peak race before the last apocalypse. It's really a gold man. Didn't the gold man race perish in the last apocalypse? Why are there still their corpses here? Wuxia asked in surprise. Wang Xian's eyes flickered. The gold man was a peak race expert before the last apocalypse. He was in existence with an extremely terrifying physical body. Wang Xian walked over and touched the skeleton with his hand. He could still feel an indestructible feeling. Based on these bones alone, the strength of this person when he was alive is definitely not lower than a 6th-order sovereign. Wang Xian murmured. He had never imagined that he would encounter such a miraculous event this time. To be able to meet a race that stood at the pinnacle of the last cataclysm. Wang Xian did not know much about the cataclysm. In fact, it seemed like all the peak races would keep the cataclysm a secret. Dragon King, there are treasures here. At that moment, Lei Shan's surprised voice came from the side. Wang Xian looked over and saw a sword not far away from the skeleton of the gold man. A golden sword. The sword was already sheathed, but even so, one could tell that this sword was extraordinary. Lei Shan extended his hand and took out the golden sword. He then pulled it out. A sharp aura could be felt. However, it seemed that because it had not absorbed energy for a long time, the special ability had disappeared. This is definitely an innate cardinal treasure, a powerful one. Lei Shan said. Wang Xian nodded his head and walked over immediately. He held the golden sword in his hand and moved his palm. A wave of metal attribute energy was injected into the sword. Faint figures of gold men appeared around the long sword and a sharp radiance swept across the surroundings. A very powerful golden sword. Wang Xian was slightly surprised. Dragon King, there are more treasures here. I don't know how many, but there are a total of 6 innate cardinal treasures. At this time, the voices of Wuxia and the rest could be heard. Wang Xian flew over and immediately saw the treasures placed around the corpses. Even though there was no energy, he could tell that they were innate cardinal treasures that were created by heaven and earth. A book, a seal, a chessboard, a dagger, a black brush, and a painting. Wang Xian swept his gaze across and waved his arm. The treasures floated around him one by one. 6 innate cardinal treasures floated around him. Suddenly there were some changes to the painting. The painting suddenly moved and a shadow slowly appeared. The face of the shadow could not be seen clearly. It was in the form of a human and wearing a windbreaker. Juniors, I don't know if you are from the Void Universe or the disciples of the Nine Source Universe. Let's just take it that you are the disciples of the Nine Source Universe. It is fate that you are able to enter this place. At this time, the shadow suddenly spoke. Obviously, the remnant energy had been activated. Wang Xian looked over and revealed a curious look. Void Universe? Nine Source Universe? The corpses you see here are all of us, survivors of the last cataclysm. Where you are standing is the enemy of the Nine Essences Universe, the Void Pagoda of the Void Universe. The Void Pagoda is the ultimate war treasure of the Void Universe's royal clan, the Void Folk. This supreme treasure was left behind by the war god of the Pinnacle race, the Gold Men, during the previous cataclysm. We tried to crack it but failed. Subsequently, it was snatched away by the cosmic beasts of the starry universe. As the illusory figure spoke, Wang Xian and the rest listened quietly. Suddenly, the illusory figure trembled and gradually disappeared. What the fuck? He disappeared without finishing his sentence? What's going on? Seeing this scene, Demon Feather could not help but roar. Indeed, the words of this illusory figure had caused them to be too puzzled and shocked. Nine Source Universe, Void Universe, Starry Universe. What did each of these mean? What was going on with the cataclysm? They were sure that the Nine Source Universe was the universe they were in, but what about the Void Universe? The enemy of the Nine Source Universe? And what did the cosmic beasts of the Starry Universe mean? Weren't the cosmic beasts of their universe? Hearing the words of the shadow, Wang Xian's face was filled with curiosity. Void Universe, Void Tower. Wang Xian murmured and looked at Enlai beside him. In the past, Enlai had directly teleported to the coordinates in his mind and said that the world was very strange. Moreover, when Wang Xian received the unbeginning sacred wings, he had inherited a scene. The owner of the unbeginning sacred wings was fighting with a powerful existence that could teleport. Does this have anything to do with the cataclysm? Judging by the time, there are still billions of years before the cataclysm arrives. Wang Xian murmured and looked around. In the entire oval-shaped space, other than these corpses, there was nothing else. This space was only a few thousand kilometers in size and was not very big. Clearly, this was just a small part of the Void Tower. Chapter 3698. It's a pity that the virtual figure has used up too much energy. There are some things that he didn't finish. This should be related to the cataclysm. Wuxia and the rest looked around and frowned. The virtual figure's words were related to the biggest secret of the entire universe. But it was a pity that he didn't finish. Wang Xian looked around and could only make a guess. He checked the surroundings and found a good harvest. Enlai, let's go to the depths of the Void Tower. After finding nothing else, Wang Xian instructed Enlai. Yes, Dragon King. Enlai nodded and followed Wang Xian to the location of the barrier. Wang Xian looked at Enlai, who nodded and stretched out his hand. No, Dragon King. This is not an energy barrier. I need to be teleported over. Enlai said as his arm couldn't reach over. Wang Xian nodded. In the next moment, Enlai disappeared. Soon he came back again. Dragon King, it's a space that's exactly the same as here. Enlai returned and said to Wang Xian. Bring us there. Wang Xian said. In an instant they arrived at another space. This space was the same as the previous one. The only difference was that there was nothing in it. Continue. Wang Xian continued to instruct. Enlai continued to teleport to check out the situation. This time Enlai didn't search for a space before teleporting over. After dozens of seconds, Enlai returned to Wang Xian. How is it? Wang Xian asked. Dragon King, many places are the same as here. But I found the location of a main hall. Enlai answered. Let's go over. Wang Xian's eyes lit up. In the next moment they arrived at a strange main hall. The entire main hall was very strange. There were chairs on the surrounding walls and each chair was 5 meters in size. Above the seat in the center of the front seat, there was a blank ball floating in the air. This chair was even more majestic. It was about 10 meters long and had strange patterns carved on it. The entire main hall was extremely solemn. On the ground there were many patterns carved on it. These patterns were all creatures in the shape of demonic beasts. They were prostrating on the ground as though they were worshipping the surrounding chairs. More than 10,000 chairs. These chairs are very strange and the materials are also very strange. Wuxia flew to a chair and looked at it curiously. Sorcerers were recognized as the most knowledgeable in the universe. Materials that Wuxia had never seen before were extremely rare. Is this something from the Void World? This place feels a little strange. Ming Shaxing scanned the surroundings and looked on curiously as well. Enlai, can you sense anything? Wang Xian asked Enlai. Dragon King, that transparent ball is very strange. It gives me a strong feeling of energy. Enlai pointed at the ball and said. Wang Xian flew over and sized up the ball. He tried to sense it, but there was nothing wrong with it. Darklai reached out and placed his palm on the sphere. After a moment of hesitation, he poured some energy into it. Buzz. At this moment, when Dark Blaze's energy fused into the sphere, the entire sphere emitted a special energy. This energy felt a little hollow and strange. The sphere slowly lit up, and a ray of light shone down. When the energy landed there, the entire space seemed to change. An incomparably huge space appeared out of thin air. The appearance of the space stunned Wang Xian and the rest. This was an unusually huge space. In the center of the space was a huge statue. The statue looked completely human, but the difference was that the eyes of this statue had white pupils. Completely hollow white eyes. The clothes on its body also seemed to be weaved from scales. And around this huge statue were a large number of corpses. A large number of corpses that looked like demonic beasts. The densely packed corpses stretched as far as the eye could see. What a huge space. How could the Void Tower contain such a huge space? Wuxia and the rest of the mad demons were shocked. It was as though there was a planet hidden in this hall. Wang Xian looked over and flew over immediately. He looked at the huge statue and sensed that there was no longer any energy fluctuation. Then he flew around to check it out. There were no living creatures in the entire space. He looked at the building below the statue and flew over immediately. The entire statue was millions of kilometers in size. Surrounding the statue was a huge white building. He entered the white building and looked around. This building was more normal, but many of the patterns on the building looked very strange. The huge patterns seemed to be telling the history of the development of a race. Wang Xian kept walking forward and found the foot of the statue at the end. However, there was an entrance at the foot, as though the entire statue was hollow. Wang Xian entered and immediately sensed a special energy. This energy was the same as Enlai's. Dragon King, it contains the power of space. This power is very strange and I feel that I can absorb it. At this moment, Enlai's face was full of surprise as he spoke. Is that so? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly, lifted his head and looked up. There was a seat at the top. The seat was located within the statue, and it felt very strange no matter how he looked at it. He flew over immediately and came to the side of the seat. On the seat there were 2 round balls and a few strange items. Wang Xian hesitated for a moment before sitting on it. He did not feel anything strange or peculiar. Enlai, try sitting on it. This seat contains the power of space. Wang Xian said to Enlai. Enlai nodded, sat on the seat and injected energy into it. In the next instant, Enlai's figure seemed to have merged with the entire seat. Wang Xian could feel a strong pressure coming from Enlai. This is... A bewildered look appeared on his face. Dragon King, this isn't an ordinary statue. It's a void armor. I can see the entire space through this void armor. Besides that, I've also obtained some information. As Enlai spoke, his eyes lit up. I can now control the entire Void Tower. Besides that, I've also obtained some information. Information? What information? Wang Xian immediately asked Enlai. Dragon King, this Void Tower is a war treasure of the Void Royal Army. The previous owner had the strength of a Void Prince. I'm not sure what level the Void Prince is at, but there are a few treasures here that are very precious. Enlai said. For the convenience of reading next time, you can click on the collection button below to record this entry. Chapter 3699, Treasures? Wang Xian's eyes lit up when he heard Enlai. His gaze fell on a few items at the side. Other than the 2 round balls connected to the chair, there were 3 other treasures. A scroll, a dagger and a box. There should be something in the box. Yes, Dragon King. They are all rare treasures. Enlai said as he picked up the scroll. Dragon King, this is an escape scroll. You can escape in any terrain in any area with this scroll. It can be used 3 times. This dagger belonged to the previous owner of the Void Tower. You can only use it if you have spatial ability. In this box, there is a treasure from the Void Universe. A very precious treasure. Enlai said as he opened the last box. There was a ball of white liquid inside. This is called Void Fusion. It can perfectly fuse an item that is compatible with you into your body, especially in terms of integrating bloodlines. This is the most precious of the 3 treasures. Wang Xian's eyes lit up when he saw the liquid fusing with the scroll and the void. This was indeed a rare treasure. A scroll that could ignore any restrictions was a treasure that could save one's life. But this void fusion was interesting. At the same time, it was also very useful. Such an item was a treasure to a sorcerer. It can perfectly integrate an item that is compatible with me into my body. Wang Xian murmured as his eyes lit up. He moved and the unbeginning sacred wings appeared on his back. Speaking of which, the unbeginning sacred wings was considered a part of Wang Xian's body. However, it had yet to achieve a perfect fusion. The power of wind and thunder flowed only on the unbeginning sacred wings. On the unbeginning sacred wings was Wang Xian's dragon soul doppelganger. This fusion had yet to reach a perfect stage. Wang Xian's corpse was very strange. The 5 elements, light and darkness and wind and thunder were integrated. The 5 elements were completely integrated with the body. The light and darkness were only at the position of the heart. They had yet to completely integrate with the 5 elements. As for the wind and thunder, they had yet to reach the stage of integration. They were just attached. Why don't I use this void fusion on the unbeginning sacred wings and myself to reach the stage of the heart of light and darkness? Wang Xian murmured. He felt that he could give it a try. After further integration, Wang Xian felt that his strength could be enhanced in terms of speed and attack. As he calculated in his mind, he put away the void fusion scroll. As for the dagger, only Dark Blaze could use it. Other than these, is there anything else in the void tower? Wang Xian asked in Lai. That's all, Dragon King. Now that I can control this void tower, do you want to take it away? Enlai asked. What's the use of this void tower? Asked Wang Xian. The void tower has powerful offensive capabilities, but I can't unleash it on my own. In addition, the void tower is like a temporary training ground for the void royals and other universes. Our 9 Essences universe has the power of the void, but absorbing it is very, very slow. The defensive power of the void pagoda is also very terrifying. This kind of void pagoda is also a treasure in the hands of the void royal family. Enlai answered. In order not to attract attention, I'll leave the void tower here. It'll be easy for you to come over, Dark Lai. Wang Xian pondered for a moment before speaking. It's Dragon King. Enlai nodded. After looking around, Enlai opened the restriction of the void tower, and Wang Xian could come to any place in the void tower. After looking around and finding no more treasures, Wang Xian was ready to return. Let's go back to the Dragon Palace. The galactic beasts have escaped, and the matters in the invincible domain have been settled. Wang Xian said to Enlai. Yes. Enlai answered immediately. Wuxia and the other 6 maniacs naturally followed Wang Xian back to the Dragon Palace. With Enlai around, they returned to the Dragon Palace in an instant. Greetings, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle, who sensed Wang Xian's return, rushed over immediately and greeted him respectfully. Go and arrange a place for Wuxia and the rest to stay. Also, don't disturb me. He instructed Prime Minister Turtle. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle answered immediately and left with Wuxia and the other 6 maniacs. Wang Xian moved his palm, and the void integration appeared in his hand. According to the method that Enlai had taught, Wang Xian integrated his own energy and blood into the void integration. Soon Wang Xian felt that the void integration seemed to have become a part of him. It had formed a perfect integration with him. With a thought, Wang Xian controlled the void integration to land on the unbeginning sacred wings, and gradually enveloped it completely. When the unbeginning sacred wings were enveloped, he could clearly feel that the connection between him and the unbeginning sacred wings had deepened. There was even a feeling that they were connected by blood. One should know that the unbeginning sacred wings were the wings of a powerful demonic beast. That demonic beast had the ability to search for enemies in the void. Even though it had been a long time since Wang Xian obtained it, it was still an external object after all. Because of the dragon soul doppelganger, it could be considered to be half integrated with Wang Xian. But now, Wang Xian could clearly feel the complete integration of the unbeginning sacred wings with him. Ding. The unbeginning sacred wings have integrated perfectly with the host. Congratulations to the host for comprehending the laws of Dharma. Netherworld Dragon Transformation, Wind and Thunder Dragon Life. Ding. The integration of the unbeginning sacred wings is complete. The host, Yin-Yang Wind and Thunder 5 Elements Divine Dragon, has transformed into a 9 Origins Divine Dragon. Just as the unbeginning sacred wings were completely integrated, the system's voice suddenly sounded. Wang Xian immediately opened his eyes, and a dazzling glow shone from them. Name: Wang Xian. Race: 9 Origins Divine Dragon, Human Dragon Unification. Level 8 Universe Supremacy, 9th Transformation of Divine Dragon Transformation. Origin source. 1%, 99% required for next breakthrough. Superpower. Dominate the marine animals, rule over marine animals that are lower than your own level, devour living things. Devour living things to extract origin source. 5 elements control art of cultivation. Divine dragon transformation superpowers. Soul capture, spiritual. Attachment law of cultivation. Dragon eyes locking all directions. 5 elements dragon claw, yin-yang world breaker. 8 luminaries dragon scale. Saint dragon shadow. 8 divisions of heavenly dragon, dragon tomb, soaring cloud dragon, body of true dragon law of cultivation. 8 directions dragon pillar, 8 dragons doppelganger, towering dragon horns, mighty heavenly dragon, tail playing with pearls, dragon breath of life, shadow dragon doppelganger, netherworld dragon pursuit, netherworld dragon transformation, wind and thunder dragon life. Law of cultivation. Metal, wood, water, fire, earth, light, darkness, wind and thunder god nation. Dragon Palace possessed Dragon Palace. Inborn Dragon Palace members. 7960450 inch I actually became a 9 origins divine dragon? Wang Xian stood in the Dragon King Hall, surrounded by the 9 elements. Metal, wood, water, fire, earth, light, darkness, wind and thunder. The power of the 5 elements was hidden within his body, the power of light and darkness was on the surface, and the power of wind and thunder surrounded him. The various phenomena made Wang Xian look as though he had a world of his own. For the convenience of reading next time, you can click on the collection button below to record this time. Void Fusion, 9 Origins Divine Dragon. Chapter 3700, It seems like I've gotten stronger. Wang Xian sensed his own body and looked at the flickering energy around him. His eyes lit up with excitement. A 9 origin divine dragon had 9 attributes. The 5 elements, light, darkness, wind, and thunder were perfectly integrated into his body. I've gained 2 more Dharma laws at once. I feel that my speed and attack power have increased. Although it's not enough for me to fight someone of a higher level, it shouldn't be a problem for me to fight someone of the same level. Wang Xian murmured to himself. At the thought of this, he suddenly had an idea. My 9 attributes are now divided into 3 groups. The 5 elements, light and darkness and wind and thunder. The rest are not integrated. What would it be like if I could integrate all 9 attributes together? Wang Xian felt that the possibility was high. The entire universe was dominated by 9 attributes. In other words, the 9 attributes could be integrated to support the universe. As for the ice, frost, and mist, they were all evolved from the 9 attributes. If Wang Xian could integrate all 9 attributes, would he be able to create a world? I don't think so. The universe also involves time and space. He shook his head and murmured to himself. No matter what, I've gained a lot this time. Wang Xian revealed a satisfied smile. After the trip to the invincible domain, his strength had improved. He had also evolved into a 9 origin divine dragon. His current strength, coupled with the 4 dark ghost doppelgangers and Lingling, was heaven-defying. A second-order universe sovereign expert could be easily killed. Prime Minister Turtle. Wang Xian bellowed. Yes, Your Majesty. Prime Minister Turtle immediately came to the Dragon King Hall and bowed respectfully to Wang Xian. Tell me about the progress of the Dragon Palace members. Wang Xian said to Prime Minister Turtle. All the resources he had obtained in the invincible domain had been placed in the Dragon Palace in advance. The progress of the Dragon Palace members should have ended. Dragon King, the number of third-order universe sovereigns in the Dragon Palace has reached 1,500. The number of Dragon Palace members with universe sovereigns and above has reached 4,000. Compared to before, my overall strength has increased by more than 7 times. Prime Minister Turtle reported respectfully. This time Wang Xian had gained a lot. The corpses of the experts from the angel race and the phoenix race, as well as the circle of demon breakers and the corpses of dire beasts had boosted the Dragon Palace tremendously. Currently, among the advanced races in the universe, having a third-order universe sovereign was already considered a very powerful race. Just like the Light Giant clan and the Shepherd clan who were enemies of the Dragon Palace, they were already very terrifying existences in the universe. However, their strength was merely equivalent to 20 to 30 third-order universe sovereigns. Currently, the Dragon Palace had 1,500 third-order sovereigns with the combat power of 1,500 third-order sovereigns. In addition, the Dragon Palace had a Frost Divine Dragon and 2 Bone Dragons. Other than that, there were 7 other Mad Demons. The 7 berserk demons all possessed strength that surpassed that of a mutated divine dragon. Moreover, they were very close to breaking through. If Wang Xian ordered them to make breakthroughs quickly, they might be able to complete their breakthroughs within 10 years. This kind of power was absolutely invincible among the high-level races. As for the other disciples of the Dragon Palace, they had also improved tremendously because of the huge amount of resources Wang Xian had provided. There were nearly 8 million disciples, and none of them were lower than the universe supremacy realm. Dragon King, with our strength, it won't be long before we become an apex race. Prime Minister Turtle said excitedly. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly. There's no hurry for now. It's best if the Dragon Palace can produce a few dozen sovereign realm experts before declaring our ascension to the apex race. He had always kept the reminder from the Fairy Clan in mind. In addition, Wang Xian had completely offended the Phoenix Clan and the Angel Clan in the Invincible Domain this time. He had to be careful. Once the Dragon Palace became an apex race, the other apex races would have sufficient reasons to attack the Dragon Palace. However, even though we won't declare ourselves to be an apex race for now, we can still establish the prestige of the Dragon Palace. Pass down the order immediately. From today onwards, all races in the universe are prohibited from hunting wyverns with the divine dragon bloodline. Any cultivator from the Sorcerer Clan is prohibited from transferring the body of a wyvern. In addition, any forces with the divine dragon bloodline in advance are prohibited. Those without the consent of the divine dragon bloodline are prohibited from using them as mounts. The sale of those with the divine dragon bloodline is prohibited. Those who violate this rule will be exterminated. Wang Xian ordered Prime Minister Turtle with a stern face. He wanted to re-establish the prestige of the divine dragon race and the Dragon Palace. The Dragon Palace had been promoted step by step from the periphery of the universe to the surroundings of the chaotic continent and to where it was today. He had seen a lot. In particular, many wyverns were reduced to mounts, and some of them became the so-called Dragon Knights. There were even many sorcerers who transferred the divine dragon bloodline. Hunting wyverns. Wang Xian wanted to exterminate all the forces in the universe. He wanted all forces in the universe to know that the divine dragon bloodline had risen again and the prestige of the divine dragon had been re-established. If there were any experts or disciples who still wanted to become Dragon Knights, they could only wait for their clan to be exterminated. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle answered immediately with his eyes shining brightly. Wang Xian nodded his head plainly. Send other divine dragons to other places of our Dragon Palace. After the news is released, if this situation is not stopped within a year, exterminate them directly. Dragon King, the external rules of the chaotic continent? We are now an internal force of the chaotic continent. We are prohibited from attacking ordinary forces outside the universe. Prime Minister Turtle hesitated for a moment before answering. It's all right. We will issue the order in advance. The pinnacle races will not interfere over such a small matter. Wang Xian said plainly. Rules were made by the strong to restrain the weak. The current Dragon Palace could already be considered as the pinnacle race in the future. Under the circumstances of issuing the order in advance, they would completely ignore some rules. No one would find trouble with the Dragon Palace over such a small matter. Even if they did, they would at most find the experts who triggered the Dragon Palace to take action. This was completely unnecessary for the pinnacle races. Yes. Prime Minister Turtle nodded his head and left immediately. Soon, the hundreds of divine dragons in the Dragon Palace arrived at the other Dragon Palaces through the teleportation device of the Dragon Palace. Along the way, the Dragon Palace had also left many Dragon Palaces in other places. Some of these Dragon Palaces were located in the periphery of the chaotic continent, while some were located in the starry sky. They were naturally flying over to pass on Wang Xian's will. Within the chaotic continent, a piece of news spread rapidly. Chapter 3701, Dragon King's Order, Dragon Palace's Order. From today onwards, no expert or disciple of any race or force in the universe is allowed to hunt or sell people with the divine dragon bloodline. Without the consent of the divine dragon bloodline holder, it is forbidden to use them as mounts or enslave them. It is forbidden to transfer the bodies of those with the divine dragon bloodline. It is forbidden to extract the divine dragon bloodline. Once discovered, your entire clan will be exterminated. Very quickly, this news spread at a terrifying speed through the universe's AI and within the Great Wasteland continent. Moreover, the divine dragon that carried Wang Xian's will had arrived at the periphery of the chaotic continent, which was surrounded by the starry sky. He had also released the same message on the universe AI. When this news came out, it caused a huge sensation. This is such a domineering announcement by the Dragon King. This is simply re-establishing the dignity of the divine dragon clan. Is the Dragon King preparing for the Dragon Palace to rise to the pinnacle in the future? TSK, this announcement is very domineering. Ever since the fall of the divine dragon race, many powerful races in the universe, especially the sorcerers, have coveted the bloodline of the divine dragon. They have transferred the body of the divine dragon bloodline into their own bodies. Now that this news is out, it is completely re-establishing the prestige of the divine dragon. I'm afraid some races are going to be out of luck. After the destruction of the divine dragon tribe, many sorcerers coveted the bloodline of the divine dragon. Many experts took pride in owning a sky dragon as a mount. Now that the Dragon Palace has risen, the dignity of the divine dragons has returned. This time, quite a few races were going to suffer a calamity. What if they still dared to deal with a flood dragon? I'm afraid it will be destroyed by the Dragon Palace. I don't know how strong the Dragon Palace is now, but with the Dragon King's strength, he can sweep the entire invincible domain by himself. Now, the Dragon King's strength is no weaker than the real universe dominator. Inside the great desolate continent, the experts and disciples of the various races were discussing among themselves. This news from the Dragon Palace? It also shocked them. This could be a sign that the Dragon Palace was about to become a peak race. The glory and loftiness of the divine dragon clan was gradually revealed. Inside the great desolate continent, all the forces attached great importance to this announcement and order from the Dragon Palace. Some hunting? Even the forces that reared the wyverns immediately released them. Some experts and disciples who had draconic mounts immediately let go of their mounts. They knew about it too? This order from the Dragon Palace was not a simple announcement. With the current power of the Dragon Palace, what if he was discovered? They might really be exterminated. The Dragon Palace would become a peak race in the future? He had to kill the chicken to warn the monkey. He had to display the might of the divine dragon. Provoking the Dragon Palace at this time? It was purely courting death. Not to mention, in the current universe, apart from the peak races, which force could compete with the Dragon Palace? No, not a single one. Didn't you see that the Dragon King even dared to kill phoenixes and angels in the invincible domain? And even forced the phoenix and the angel to flee the invincible domain? The Dragon King dared to do this? Destroy them much less. If even the high-level races of the great desolate continent were like this, then there was no need to talk about the outer regions. Once the Dragon Palace stepped into the primordial continent, a bloody path was carved out in the periphery. Now that they had obtained this information, all they had to do was search for information about Dragon Palace on the universe AI. He knew how terrifying the Dragon Palace was. The outer races naturally did not dare to challenge the authority of the Dragon Palace. An expert from the Divine Dragon tribe has issued a statement forbidding the hunting and sale of flood dragons. Is this an order from the Dragon Palace or the Dragon King? Dragon Palace? Didn't they already enter the primordial continent more than 1,000 years ago? Why did they suddenly issue such a statement in our starry sky? I don't know. Back then, the Dragon Palace was an invincible existence in our starry sky. Especially that landing battle, it was a heaven-defying move. The Dragon Palace should be very strong now. However, aren't the forces of the primordial continent not allowed to interfere in anything here? Quickly search for the current situation of the Dragon Palace. My God, the Dragon Palace is now almost invincible in the primordial continent. They are known as the invincible existence below the peak races. Are you serious? How is that possible? The Dragon Palace has only entered the primordial continent for more than 1,000 years. The universe outside the primordial continent was completely different from the mainland. In their starry sky, if they did not specifically search for some information, they would not know the information on the primordial continent. The interior of the primordial continent and the starry sky were two completely different worlds. When they saw an expert from Dragon Palace posting a message in their area, they were slightly surprised. Some experts searched for the information about the Dragon Palace and were immediately shocked. However, although they were shocked, there were still many experts and disciples who were just discussing it. They did not take the news too seriously, because the sky was high and the emperor was far away. Secondly, there were rules in the universe. The experts of the primordial continent could not kill the races and experts on their side for no reason. Let's ignore this news from the Dragon Palace for now. The Dragon Palace has not reached the level of a peak race. Their claws can't reach here. We have also cultivated thousands of mounts with the bloodline of the Divine Dragon. This is our Imperial Dragon's most valuable asset. On a planet in the starry sky, a clan leader of a force said with twinkling eyes. Clan leader is right. Although the Dragon Palace is strong, it cannot reach here. However, I have found that the Dragon Palace may be promoted to a peak race. Clan leader, we still need to make some arrangements. An old man replied. Well, we do need to make some preparations. It is really troublesome. I did not expect the Divine Dragon clan to rise so quickly. Damn it. The clan leader in the center frowned slightly and could not help but curse. The news of the Dragon Palace touched the interests of many races and forces. It even affected the foundation of some forces. Dragon Knight, no matter where you were, was a very prestigious title. Now, the news of the Dragon Palace had undoubtedly made the term Dragon Knight disappear completely. However, it was still the same sentence. The heavens were high and the Emperor was far away. In addition to some rules, some forces in the starry sky completely ignored the rules of the Dragon Palace. Although some forces ignored the order of the Dragon Palace, there was one thing. All the Sky Dragons and Divine Dragon bloodline possessors in the universe were extremely excited when they heard the news. Thank you, Dragon King. Our Divine Dragon bloodline finally has a powerful leader. If the Dragon Palace can become a peak race, no other race or expert in the universe will dare to enslave us, the Sky Dragons, and worship the Dragon King. Some Divine Dragon bloodline possessors looked in the direction of the primordial continent and knelt down in excitement. Chapter 3702. The Dragon Palace and the Dragon King's orders had been issued. Days passed. Wang Xian had entered a leisurely life. Every day he would hang out with Guan Shuqing and the other girls and stroll around the continent. It was a leisurely life. A year passed quickly. Wang Xian sat on the dragon throne and read the information handed to him by Prime Minister Turtle. Dragon King, according to the investigation of our Dragon Palace members, basically no forces in the inner and outer regions of the heaven-opening chaotic continent would dare to enslave and capture people with the bloodline of the Divine Dragon. However, outside the heaven-opening chaotic continent, many forces have ignored our orders. They all believe that our Dragon Palace's hands cannot reach that far. Prime Minister Turtle stood below and reported respectfully. Wang Xian nodded. Get the Water Dragon leader and the rest here. Also, get them to bring all the Third Order Universe sovereigns under them. Also, get Tianjin and Wuxia here. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle answered immediately. Greetings, Dragon King. Greetings, Dragon King. Soon, Shui Linglong's father, the Water Dragon leader, and the leaders of the other 8 attributes arrived with their subordinates. There were more than 2,000 purebred divine dragons in the Dragon Palace. Among them, there were more than 300 Third Order Universe sovereigns. More than 2,000 purebred divine dragons belonged to the True Dragon Battle Team of the Dragon Palace. And these 300 were the top experts of the True Dragon Battle Team. They were the foundation of the Dragon Palace in the future. The current Dragon Palace had a strong foundation. Tianjin, how's the production of the Dragon Compass coming along? Wang Xian looked at Tianjin and the rest and asked. Dragon King, it's done. 300 Dragon Compass can cover an area of 100 billion kilometers. Anyone with Divine Dragon bloodline will be able to sense it immediately. Wuxia replied. Wuxia's current attainments in witchcraft were much stronger than Tianjin's. Currently, Tianjin and Witch Dragon were learning witchcraft from Wuxia. Wuxia did not evolve into a witch dragon. The quota for Witch Dragon had reached the limit. In the future, there would be no more Witch Dragon in the Dragon Palace. In addition, the sorcerer lineage was no weaker than Witch Dragon. They also had the cultivation methods of the peak races. There were no weak races among the peak races. Alright. Wang Xian nodded his head and revealed a smile. Chief of the Water Dragons, take a dragon-seeking compass and patrol the chaotic continent and the surrounding starry skies. Once you discover any forces or experts enslaving people with the Divine Dragon bloodline, kill them immediately. It's Dragon King. The 300 Divine Dragons immediately responded loudly. These 300 Divine Dragons all possessed the strength of a Third Order Universe sovereign. This power was not weak even among the peak races. Roar! Roar! Soon, the 240 Divine Dragons around the Dragon Palace let out roars. They swayed their massive bodies and exuded an immense dragon might as they flew forward. 240 powerful divine dragons flying in the sky was a spectacular sight. Tianxing City was a city that was relatively close to the Tianhing River. The city lord of this city was a first-order sovereign realm expert. The Stellar Sky City was a neutral city, and the entire city was flourishing. Suddenly, a majestic dragon might swept over, causing all the experts, disciples and residents in the city to tremble slightly. Their faces were filled with fear. What a majestic aura. What's going on? The aura is obvious, but there's no pressure. Over there are experts flying over. Hey look, those are divine dragons, powerful divine dragons. Oh my god, so many divine dragons. It's the experts from the Dragon Palace. But, there are so many divine dragons. Within the city, all the experts, disciples and residents looked in the direction of the Tianhing River. They saw 240 divine dragons flying in the sky. Those divine dragons were hundreds of thousands of meters long, exuding a powerful aura. They flew together, bringing great shock to all the residents in Stellar Sky City. 240 true dragons flying in the sky. It's been a long time since such a grand sight has been seen. The city lord of Stellar Sky City flew into the sky, looking at the 240 divine dragons and mumbling in shock. Welcome, lords of the Dragon Palace. When the 240 divine dragons flew over, the city lord of the Stellar Sky City could feel the unparalleled power from the divine dragons. He bowed respectfully and said, "That's right." One of the divine dragons responded and flew directly towards the teleportation portal. At the teleportation array of Stellar Sky City, all the experts and disciples moved to the side, looking at them with respect. The 240 divine dragons went through the teleportation array and left immediately. What a terrifying aura. It feels like any one of these terrifying divine dragons could destroy the entire Stellar Sky City. The Dragon Palace is much stronger than we imagined. 240 divine dragons. There are so many true dragons in the Dragon Palace. These should be true dragons with third-order sovereign battle strength. A total of 240 true dragons with third-order sovereign battle strength. The number of true dragons in the Dragon Palace is definitely not small. The glory of the divine dragon race is about to reappear. Within Stellar Sky City, all the experts and disciples were discussing. At the same time, 60 divine dragons flew out from the ocean of a planet. They swayed their huge bodies and flew in all directions. This terrifying aura caused all the creatures in the surroundings to tremble in fear. In the interior of the great desolate continent, 240 divine dragons used the transportation formation to quickly arrive at the various cities. They brought along the dragon-seeking compass, which could quickly find those with divine dragon bloodlines. The dragon-seeking compass was made with dragon blood from the dragon transformation pool and Wuxia's powerful array. It could even find those with divine dragon bloodlines hidden in the God Nation. Unless the other party's God Nation was very strong. But under normal circumstances, it was impossible to avoid detection. 240 mystical dragons were searching around the various cities and races. The efficiency was still very high. And, at the edge of a race, Laming noticed the notification on the dragon-seeking compass. His eyes lit up as he stared at the race in front of him. The God Hunter race was a powerful high-level race. Laming flew into the territory of the God Hunter race. Swish swish swish. In an instant, powerful figures flew towards Laming from the God Hunter race. They looked at the terrifying energy contained in Laming's body with respect. "Sir from the Dragon Palace, what brings you to our God Hunter race?" An old man from the God Hunter race asked respectfully. "I sense the aura of a flood dragon in your race. Bring that flood dragon here." Laming stared at them and said directly. Chapter 3703, Huh? The aura of a flood dragon? "Sir from the Dragon Palace, we don't have any flood dragons in our tribe." The experts from the God Hunter clan were shocked when they heard Laming's words, but they quickly replied. What happened? It's a true dragon from the Dragon Palace. He said we have a flood dragon here. Do we have a flood dragon in our tribe? The Dragon Palace announced a year ago that they are enslaving flood dragons and forbade the hunting of flood dragons. Within the God Hunter clan, some of the strong disciples looked over, and their faces were filled with astonishment. In the central hall of the God Hunter clan, a young man's eyes narrowed when he saw the huge divine dragon in front of him. He panicked. "Bring that flood dragon here in 10 seconds. If that flood dragon is not enslaved by you and is willing to do so, you will be safe." If you enslave someone with the divine dragon bloodline, you will be annihilated. Lei Ming stared at them and said sternly, the divine dragon was not to be offended. Now that the dragon palace was on the rise, no other race could offend them. And no other race could offend someone with the divine dragon bloodline. Once discovered, they would be annihilated. What? The dragon palace is so domineering. The dragon palace made an announcement a year ago. I didn't expect them to come here now. Do we have a flood dragon in our tribe? Damn it. Down below, all the experts and disciples of the God Hunter clan heard Lei Ming's words. Their expressions changed and there was a hint of panic in their eyes. Whoosh. At this time, an old man flew out from the center of the God Hunter clan and cupped his fists at Lei Ming. Sir, from the Dragon Palace, our God Hunter clan does not have a flood dragon. If you don't believe me, you can come in and look for it. Roar. Roar. When Lei Ming heard him, he moved, and his huge dragon body flew directly toward the center of the God Hunter clan. He reached out with his dragon claws and grabbed at a spot below. Sir, from the Dragon Palace, we are willing to let you search for it personally to prove our innocence. Please do not attack us. The old man's heart thumped violently when he saw how Lei Ming had forcefully broken through their building. He could not help but exclaim. Lei Ming ignored him and grabbed below with his dragon claws. The defense of the God Hunter clan's blessed grotto heaven opened. However, the defenses of the God Hunter clan's grotto heavens could only withstand the attacks of second-order universe sovereigns. Under Lei Ming's attack, it was directly broken. Not good. When a young man around the God Hunter clan's grand hall saw where Lei Ming was attacking, his heart skipped a beat. His eyes were filled with fear. Oh. A god kingdom was directly grabbed by Lei Ming, and the power backfired on the young man, causing him to spit out blood. Bam! The divine nation broke apart. Lei Ming stared inside and locked onto a dragon girl with dragon horns. The dragon lady was in a daze. When she saw Lei Ming, her body trembled violently. I am a true dragon of the Dragon Palace. I am ordered by the Dragon King to inspect those with the Cosmos God Dragon bloodline. If you are imprisoned or enslaved, I will give you justice. Lei Ming stared at the dragon girl and asked. A powerful dragon's might surrounded her. Lord, true dragon, save me. That dragon lady knelt down and begged for mercy. All right. Hearing her words, Lei Ming moved his dragon claws and a bolt of lightning wrapped around him, causing him to quickly fly into the sky. Those who offend the Divine Dragon Clan die. Lei Ming let out a deep roar as a vast thunderbolt force erupted from his body. The surrounding area was instantly covered by lightning. Not good, there is a flood dragon in the god kingdom of our young clan leader. Not good. Some of the experts and disciples of the God Hunter clan were horrified when they saw this scene. Their young clan leader had enslaved a flood dragon. He actually hid a flood dragon in his own god kingdom. This Thunder Dragon exterminates the world, the divine dragon shall not be offended. Lei Ming roared. Countless lightning bolts struck downwards. The destructive power caused all the experts from the God Hunter clan to be filled with fear and despair. It's over, the matter of the young clan leader has been discovered. No. At this moment, all the experts from the God Hunter clan felt the space around them changing. Boom, boom, boom. In the next moment, the entire God Hunter clan was covered in lightning. Lei Ming unleashed a powerful dragon might. The dragon might swept across and his dragon breath descended. No, that's the flood dragon enslaved by the young clan leader. What has it got to do with us? No. Damn the young clan leader. The apocalypse had arrived and the lightning dragon wreaked havoc. Lei Ming unleashed all his strength. All the buildings in the God Hunter clan crumbled and disappeared. With their strength, it was difficult for them to even escape. In the sky, the flood dragon lady who was imprisoned couldn't help but shed tears when she saw this scene. In less than a few minutes, the entire God Hunter clan was annihilated. You can look for your family. If you don't have any family, you can live in a neutral city. Or you can go to the Dragon Palace in the Eternal River. If you can pass the Dragon's Gate, you can become a disciple of the Dragon Palace. If you can't, you can also stay in the vicinity. Lei Ming said to the flood dragon lady after annihilating the God Hunter clan. With a wave of his arm, some divine stones fell beside him. He swayed his huge body and left immediately. The old lair of the God Hunter clan had been reduced to ruins. Thank you, Lord Divine Dragon. Thank you, Lord Divine Dragon from the Dragon Palace. The flood dragon lady Longya floated in the air and knelt down immediately. She was filled with gratitude. Her eyes were filled with excitement and agitation. and the pride that came from her bloodline and heart. In the future, no one would dare to bully the flood dragons. This scene wasn't just happening in the God Hunter clan. It was happening in other clans as well. The order from the Dragon Palace had been issued a year ago. The experts of the clans in the Great Wilderness continent took it very seriously. However, as long as they hid the flood dragons in their own divine kingdom, everything would be fine. How would the Dragon Palace know that they had enslaved the flood dragons if they hid them in the Blessed Enclave? This wasn't a fluke but a naive assumption. However, this time they were wrong. There was a huge gap between the peak clans and the high-level clans. The current Dragon Palace could be said to have stepped into the threshold of the peak clans. Wuxia's strength was comparable to a First-Order Sovereign Realm sorcerer. The dragon-seeking compass that she created could be considered a treasure created by the experts of the peak clans. Naturally, it had an effect that these high-level clans couldn't imagine. This caused this group of lucky experts and clans to be annihilated. When experts and clans were annihilated by the divine dragons of the Dragon Palace, the news spread at a terrifying speed. The actions of the Dragon Palace and the strength of the experts of the Dragon Palace caused a huge uproar. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.